Have you ever wondered why, in the midst of all the noise, debates, and shows of the modern world, a quiet but powerful movement is taking place, one that you barely hear about in the headlines or see on social media? It is happening silently, almost invisibly, yet profoundly transforming lives around the globe. The most educated, the most intellectually curious, and the deeply thoughtful people. Those who have studied science, philosophy, history, and human nature are increasingly turning towards Islam, not with loud proclamations or dramatic conversions broadcasted to the world, but in a silent, steady, and deeply personal journey. Why is this happening? What is it about Islam that calls to the minds and hearts of the educated generation in ways other paths have failed? Today, let us explore this remarkable phenomenon. Education is often seen as a beacon of logic, reasoning, and discovery. It's the pursuit of knowledge, the sharpening of critical thinking, and the exploration of the unknown. Those who are highly educated have been trained to question everything, dogmas, traditions, and even themselves. They have access to vast oceans of information, the ability to analyze complex ideas, and the courage to challenge societal norms. So, when we see these individuals gravitate towards Islam, it demands our attention, not just as a religious trend, but as a profound intellectual and spiritual awakening. At its core, Islam offers an extraordinary blend of faith and reason, spirituality and science, law and mercy. It invites people to reflect deeply on the purpose of existence, the nature of the universe, and the reality of the human soul. It doesn't ask blind obedience, rather, it encourages questioning and reflection. This is why so many educated minds, tired of superficial answers and fleeting materialism, find solace in its teachings. Islam presents a worldview that is coherent, comprehensive, and logically consistent. Consider the Quran, a text that has challenged scholars and scientists for centuries. It speaks about the creation of the universe, the development of the embryo, the balance of nature, and the unity of humanity in ways that resonate with modern discoveries. Many educated individuals find in it a source of intellectual stimulation, a book that doesn't contradict science, but invites believers to explore it. This harmony between revelation and reason is rare in religious discourse, and it appeals deeply to those who seek both truth and meaning. Furthermore, Islam's concept of God, the One, the Absolute, the All-Knowing, provides a foundation for morality and ethics that is universal and transcendent. In a world often marked by moral relativism, confusion, and ethical ambiguity, educated people yearn for a clear, stable framework. Islam offers a comprehensive moral code that governs not just individual behavior, but social justice, economic fairness, and the environment. The call to live with integrity, compassion, and accountability appeals to minds that crave purpose and impact. The silence in which many educated converts embrace Islam is also telling. It is not necessarily a rejection of their past or their education, but a conscious choice to internalize a faith that transforms them from within. They do not need to shout or debate loudly because their conviction is firm and personal. In fact, many are drawn to the humility and discipline Islam instills, an antidote to the arrogance and ego that can sometimes accompany intellectual achievement. Moreover, Islam's emphasis on community, brotherhood, and social responsibility resonates with educated individuals who recognize that knowledge alone is insufficient. True wisdom, they realize, must be coupled with action that benefits society. Islam's holistic approach to life, covering worship, business, family, and governance, offers a practical roadmap for ethical living in a complex world. This integrated approach is attractive to those who want their beliefs to make a real difference. Many educated individuals have also experienced the emptiness of materialism and secularism. Despite wealth, status, and technological advancement, they find that these do not satisfy the deeper yearnings of the human spirit. Islam addresses this void by reconnecting people with their Creator, reminding them of their ultimate purpose beyond this temporary life. The spirituality of Islam is not divorced from reason. It is deeply rational, offering hope, peace, and a sense of belonging. It is important to recognize that turning to Islam in silence is also a response to the social and political climates many educated people find themselves in. In certain societies, openly declaring one's faith can be met with hostility, misunderstanding, or discrimination. So, many choose to embrace Islam quietly, nurturing their faith privately while contributing positively to their communities. This silent transformation is a powerful testament to the strength and resilience of their conviction. Another factor is the internet and global connectivity, which provide access to authentic Islamic knowledge directly from primary sources and respected scholars. Educated seekers are not relying on second-hand information or stereotypes. They engage with the rich intellectual tradition of Islam, its history, philosophy, theology, and sciences, through rigorous study. This self-directed learning empowers them to appreciate the depth and beauty of the faith. Additionally, many educated converts mention the personal transformation Islam brings to their character and mindset. It instills discipline through prayer, mindfulness through fasting, and empathy through charity. These practices cultivate a sense of balance and purpose that many had struggled to find elsewhere. The structure Islam provides is not restrictive but liberating, freeing individuals from anxiety, nihilism, and despair. When we look closely, the movement of educated people towards Islam is not a rejection of modernity, but an embrace of a faith that harmonizes tradition with progress. Islam encourages the pursuit of knowledge, scientific inquiry, and intellectual excellence. Historically, during the golden age of Islam, scholars made groundbreaking contributions to medicine, mathematics, astronomy, and philosophy. Today's educated converts see themselves continuing that legacy, not by abandoning modern science, but by integrating it with a timeless spiritual framework. This phenomenon also speaks to a universal human need, the search for truth, meaning, and belonging. Education may provide information, but it does not always satisfy the soul. Islam meets this need with a powerful narrative of purpose, responsibility, and hope. It reminds us that knowledge is a tool, but wisdom is the light that guides us. In silence, this movement grows stronger every day. It is a quiet revolution of hearts and minds, driven not by rhetoric, but the profound realization that Islam addresses the deepest questions of human existence with clarity, compassion, and intellectual rigor. It challenges the educated to think beyond themselves, to connect with something greater, and to live a life of authenticity and service. So, when we witness this quiet turn towards Islam by the educated, we are witnessing not just a religious shift, but a renaissance of intellect and spirit. It is a call to awaken from the distractions of the world and to embrace a path that honors both the mind and the soul. This is why the most educated among us are turning to Islam, not with noise, but with conviction, not with haste, but with deep reflection, and not with fear, but with hope. The silent revolution, why the educated are turning to Islam and the harmony of faith with reason, a harmonial compass for a confused world, spiritual fulfillment beyond material success, the power of personal transformation and discipline, continuing the legacy, Islam's call to knowledge and purpose. 1. The silent revolution, why the educated are turning to Islam. Have you noticed something remarkable happening quietly around us? It's not making big headlines or causing loud debates, but it's real and growing. An increasing number of highly educated people are turning to Islam, and not in a flashy, attention-grabbing way, but in silence. This is what we call a silent revolution. You might ask, why is it silent? Why aren't these intelligent, the thoughtful individuals shouting their new beliefs from the rooftops? The answer lies deep in the nature of both the people involved and the faith they're embracing. First, let's understand who these people are. When we say educated, we're talking about those who have spent years learning, questioning, and searching for truth. They've studied philosophy, science, history, and everything that helps make sense of the world. They aren't easily swayed by simple answers or superficial beliefs. They want authenticity. They want consistency. And most importantly, they want something that resonates with both their minds and hearts. These educated seekers have explored many paths, many ideologies, and many systems of thought. Some have found parts of the truth, but something always felt missing. Materialism, the idea that everything is just physical and that life's purpose is to acquire wealth or status, failed to satisfy the deeper questions they carry. Secularism and relativism often left them in a moral fog, uncertain about right and wrong in a meaningful way. It's in this search for deeper meaning, clarity, and purpose that Islam quietly calls to them. Islam doesn't demand loud proclamations or public spectacle. Instead, it invites a personal journey, a journey of reflection, understanding, and inner transformation. For the educated, this approach is refreshing. It's not about blind faith or following rituals without thinking. It's about engaging with a comprehensive worldview that challenges the mind and nurtures the soul. The Quran encourages questioning, contemplation, and learning, which aligns perfectly with the mindset of the educated. Why silent? Because this term to Islam is deeply personal and often gradual. Many come from backgrounds or societies where religion might be misunderstood, misrepresented, or even stigmatized. Public declarations can lead to judgment, alienation, or conflict. So, they choose to explore and embrace their faith quietly, letting their actions and character speak louder than words. The silence is not weakness, it's strength. Strength born from conviction, humility, and thoughtful reflection. This silent revolution is also a powerful statement against the idea that education and religion are incompatible. These educated converts are proving that you can be highly rational and deeply spiritual at the same time. They show the world that true knowledge isn't just about facts or theories, but about understanding life's purpose, morality, and connection to something greater. The impact of this movement is profound. It's reshaping communities, inspiring new conversations about faith and reason, and challenging stereotypes. And because it's silent, it's often underestimated. But make no mistake, this quiet wave is changing lives and ultimately societies. So, the next time you hear about someone educated embracing Islam, don't dismiss it as just a personal choice. See it for what it is. A silent revolution, a powerful movement of minds and hearts seeking truth in a noisy world. It's a reminder that sometimes the most profound changes happen not with loud noise but with quiet conviction. 2. Islam and the harmony of faith with reason. One of the most compelling reasons educated people are drawn to Islam is the beautiful harmony it creates between faith and reason. In today's world, many people feel forced to choose between believing in something spiritual or trusting in logic and science. But Islam offers a powerful answer to this dilemma. It does not ask you to abandon your intellect to believe, nor does it dismiss faith as mere superstition. Instead, it invites you to use your reason as a tool to deepen your faith and understand the universe. Think about it. Islam encourages you to question, to think, and to seek knowledge. The Quran, Islam's holy book, is filled with verses that challenge readers to reflect on the signs in the natural world, to ponder the creation of the heavens and the earth, and to understand the balance and order in life. It doesn't ask people to blindly accept statements, but to explore and learn. This is why so many educated people find themselves drawn to it. It speaks their language. It respects their intellect. In a way, Islam bridges the gap between science and spirituality. When you study the Quran, you find remarkable references to natural phenomena that align with modern scientific discoveries, like the development of the embryo, the expansion of the universe, and the water cycle. These aren't just poetic metaphors. They are detailed observations that inspire awe and invite further exploration. For someone trained to value evidence and reason, this is not only fascinating but reassuring. It shows that faith and science can coexist, each enriching the other. But it's not just about science. Islam's teachings offer a logical and coherent worldview. Its explanations about when we exist, what happens after death, and how we should live our lives are presented in a way that satisfies both the heart and the mind. The principles of justice, compassion, accountability, and mercy are not random commands. They're part of a system that makes sense of human experience and guides us toward a meaningful life. Another key point is that Islam doesn't isolate faith in a box separate from everyday life. It integrates belief with action, ethics, and social responsibility. This practical side appeals to educated individuals who want their faith to have real-world impact, not just remain abstract ideas. When Islam teaches about charity, honesty, and caring for others, it connects moral values with social well-being in a way that reason can appreciate. What makes this harmony even more attractive is the tradition of intellectual inquiry in Islam's history. The Golden Age of Islam, roughly from the 8th to the 14th century, was a time when Muslim scholars led the world in philosophy, mathematics, medicine, and astronomy. These great minds didn't see science and religion as enemies, but as partners. This rich legacy shows that Islam has always valued learning and critical thinking, encouraging believers to seek knowledge wherever it may be found. For many educated converts today, embracing Islam feels like coming home to a faith that honors their intellectual curiosity instead of suppressing it. It gives them a framework where faith is not a threat to reason, but a path to greater understanding. It transforms belief from something imposed or inherited into something discovered through thought, study, and reflection. This alignment between faith and reason also helps them face life's challenges with confidence. When your beliefs are based on both spiritual insight and rational understanding, you develop a balanced perspective. You can navigate doubts, questions, and uncertainties without fear because you know your faith is grounded in truth. In short, the harmony of faith and reason in Islam is a powerful magnet for educated minds. It's a faith that challenges, inspires, and satisfies both the head and the heart. This is why so many thoughtful, curious people are turning to Islam, not in conflict with their intellect, but because of it. 3. A moral compass for a confused world in today's fast-paced, ever-changing world. One thing many educated people struggle with is finding a clear and reliable moral compass. We live in an age where values seem to shift overnight, where what's considered right or wrong often depends on who's speaking or what's popular at the moment. This moral confusion leaves many intelligent, thoughtful individuals feeling lost or frustrated. They ask themselves, how do I live a good life when the rules keep changing? How do I know what's truly right or wrong? This is exactly why so many educated people are quietly turning to Islam. It offers a strong, consistent, and deeply satisfying moral framework. Islam provides more than just a set of rules. It offers a holistic way of living based on timeless principles rooted in justice, mercy, honesty, and compassion. These principles are not just abstract ideas. They are practical guides for everyday life that have stood the test of time. For the educated mind, this is incredibly appealing because Islam's moral code is not arbitrary or based on fleeting opinions. It is rooted in the belief in one just and all-knowing Creator who designed life with purpose and order. One of the most powerful aspects of Islam's moral framework is its universality. It doesn't just apply to certain people or cultures. It is meant for all humanity, everywhere and at all times. Whether it's how we treat our neighbors, conduct business, care for the environment, or fulfill family responsibilities, Islam offers clear guidance that promotes fairness and dignity. For educated individuals who think globally and want their actions to have meaningful impact, this universal ethic is a compelling reason to embrace Islam. Moreover, Islam emphasizes accountability, not just to society but to God. This accountability is empowering, not restrictive. It reminds people that their actions matter and that they have a responsibility not just to themselves but to others. In a world where selfishness and short-term thinking often dominate, this sense of responsibility provides a powerful foundation for ethical behavior. For educated people who are aware of social injustices and inequalities, Islam's call to justice and mercy offers a framework for creating positive change. Another key feature that draws educated individuals to Islam is its balance between rights and duties. Islam recognizes the rights of individuals, but it also stresses the duties each person has toward their family, community, and society. This balance helps create harmony, reducing conflicts that arise when either rights or responsibilities are ignored. Educated minds appreciate this balanced approach because it reflects the complexity of real life and encourages people to think beyond themselves. In addition, Islam's moral teachings address the whole person, body, mind, and soul. It encourages moderation, self-discipline, and mindfulness. These qualities help people avoid the extremes that often cause harm, whether in behavior, emotions, or thinking. For someone educated in psychology, philosophy, or ethics, this comprehensive view of human nature is not only logical but deeply insightful. Finally, Islam encourages continual self-improvement and reflection. It doesn't expect perfection overnight, but it urges believers to constantly strive to be better, to learn from mistakes, and to grow in character. This dynamic process appeals to educated people who understand that growth is a lifelong journey and that morality isn't static but evolves through learning and experience. In a world full of confusion, doubt, and moral uncertainty, Islam offers a steady, clear, and profound moral compass. It guides educated individuals who are searching not just for knowledge but for wisdom. Wisdom that shapes their actions, builds their character, and helps them contribute meaningfully to the world. This is why so many of the most thoughtful and educated among us are quietly turning to Islam, not just as a religion, but as a complete way of life grounded in truth, justice, and compassion. 4. Spiritual fulfillment beyond material success in today's world. Success is often measured by what you have, your job title, your income, your possessions. We live in a culture that celebrates material achievement as the ultimate goal, and many educated people chase this vision relentlessly. But despite all the accomplishments and wealth, a surprising number of them find themselves feeling empty, restless, or unfulfilled inside. This inner hunger for something more, something deeper and more meaningful, is what's driving many educated individuals toward Islam. Because Islam offers a kind of spiritual fulfillment that goes beyond material success. Let's be honest, money, status, and achievements can only take us so far. They can bring comfort and convenience, but they don't fill the deeper questions of the soul. Why am I here? What is my purpose? What happens after this life? These are the questions that no paycheck or promotion can answer. And when these questions go unanswered, people begin to feel lost or disconnected from their own lives. Islam recognizes this deep human need. It speaks directly to the heart's yearning for connection with God, with others, and with oneself. Unlike many modern philosophies that reduce life to random events or personal satisfaction, Islam teaches that life has a divine purpose. It invites believers to find peace and contentment by connecting with their Creator and living in harmony with His guidance. His connection brings a kind of fulfillment that material success simply cannot provide. When you turn to Islam, you discover that true wealth is not in possessions, but in spiritual richness. This richness comes from knowing that your life has meaning, that your actions matter, and that you are part of a bigger plan. For the educated mind, which often wrestles with existential questions, this clarity is incredibly grounding. Islam also teaches that spiritual fulfillment comes from balance. It doesn't ask you to reject the world or give up your ambitions. Instead, it encourages you to pursue success while maintaining a strong relationship with God. This balance allows people to enjoy the benefits of their hard work without losing sight of what truly matters. It helps avoid the trap of endless striving without satisfaction. Another powerful aspect of Islam's spiritual message is its emphasis on gratitude and contentment. The simple practice of recognizing blessings and expressing thanks shifts the focus from what's missing to what's present. This attitude cultivates happiness and reduces anxiety, something many educated people struggle with despite their external success. Gratitude transforms the way you see life. It makes the ordinary feel extraordinary. Prayer and worship also play a vital role in this spiritual fulfillment. They create moments of stillness and reflection amidst life's chaos, giving the soul a chance to recharge. For those who have spent years in intellectual pursuit, these moments of quiet devotion provide peace and a sense of grounding that can't be found in any book or lecture. Finally, Islam offers a community, a supportive network of believers who share similar values and goals. For many educated converts, finding this sense of belonging is a crucial part of their spiritual fulfillment. It's a reminder that they are not alone in their journey and that their faith connects them to something larger than themselves. So, while the world may continue to chase material success as the highest achievement, many educated people are quietly discovering that true fulfillment lies beyond what money can buy. They are turning to Islam to nourish their souls, to find meaning, peace, and purpose. And in doing so, they are rewriting the definition of success, not by how much they have, but by how deeply they live. The power of personal transformation and discipline. One of the most striking reasons educated people are drawn to Islam is the profound emphasis it places on personal transformation and discipline. When you look around today, it's clear that knowledge alone isn't enough. Many educated individuals realize that understanding the world intellectually doesn't automatically translate into happiness, success, or inner peace. What truly changes lives is the ability to transform oneself from the inside out, and Islam offers a powerful practical roadmap to do just that. Islam is not just a set of beliefs or rituals, it's a comprehensive lifestyle designed to guide people toward becoming their best selves. From the daily prayers to fasting, from honest dealings to acts of charity, every practice in Islam is a tool for developing self-control, patience, humility, and integrity. For someone who values growth and personal development, this structure provides a framework to turn knowledge into meaningful action. Think about the discipline required for the 5 daily prayers. It's not just a ritual. It's a regular reminder to pause, reconnect, and realign your priorities. This consistency builds resilience and mental strength. It trains the mind to focus, the heart to humble itself, and the soil to seek balance. For educated people juggling demanding careers, relationships, and personal goals, these moments of disciplined reflection are powerful anchors in a chaotic world. Fasting during Ramadan is another example of Islam's transformative power. It's not merely about abstaining from food and drink. It's about cultivating self-restraint and empathy for those who suffer. It teaches control over desires, builds gratitude, and encourages spiritual renewal. This kind of intentional discipline helps people break free from destructive habits and patterns, which is something many educated individuals find missing in modern self-help or psychological advice. But transformation in Islam goes beyond just discipline. It's about character development. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said the best among people are those with the best character. Islam encourages qualities like honesty, kindness, patience, forgiveness, and generosity. These traits are not only noble but essential for healthy relationships and social harmony. Educated people who understand the complexity of human nature see the value in this holistic approach. The concept of accountability in Islam also fuels transformation. You are constantly reminded that your actions have consequences, not just in this life, but in the hereafter. This awareness motivates believers to make conscious choices and take responsibility for their growth. For the thoughtful mind, this idea of ultimate accountability adds depth and seriousness to everyday decisions. What's also compelling is that Islam recognizes the struggle of transformation. It doesn't expect perfection from the start. Instead, it encourages persistence, forgiveness, and gradual improvement. This compassionate yet firm approach resonates with educated individuals who understand that change is a journey filled with setbacks and successes. In addition, the sense of purpose that Islam instills makes discipline meaningful. When you know why you're practicing self-control, not just for health or success, but to fulfill a higher purpose, it becomes easier to stay committed. This higher purpose gives discipline a spiritual dimension, turning what might seem like restrictions into opportunities for growth. Finally, Islam's emphasis on community supports personal transformation. Belonging to a community that values growth, encourages accountability, and provides support can be a game changer. For educated people who may have experienced isolation or skepticism in their spiritual journeys, this community aspect offers encouragement and shared wisdom. In short, Islam's focus on personal transformation and discipline offers educated people a powerful way to live intentionally. It's a practical spiritual path that turns knowledge into wisdom, intention into action, and potential into reality. This transformative power is why so many thoughtful, driven individuals are embracing Islam quietly but confidently, knowing that true change begins within. 6. The quiet revolution. Why the educated embrace Islam silently? There's something truly remarkable happening in the world today. An unspoken movement quietly unfolding among the educated and intellectual communities. More and more highly educated individuals are embracing Islam, but they're doing it quietly, without fanfare or public decorations. This silent revolution is powerful, deliberate, and deeply personal. Understanding why this is happening helps us appreciate the profound impact Islam is having on minds that are often skeptical, critical, and highly discerning. First, let's consider why this change is quiet. In many societies, religion can be seen as a private matter or even a sensitive topic, especially when it comes to Islam. There are stereotypes, misunderstandings, and sometimes fear associated with the faith. Educated individuals who are often in environments that value secularism or scientific rationalism may hesitate to openly share their faith for fear of judgment, discrimination, or misunderstanding. This caution is not about shame, but about navigating complex social and professional landscapes. Yet, despite this silence, the transformation within these individuals is real and profound. They don't need to announce their faith loudly because their lives speak volumes. Their actions, character, and the peace they carry become subtle but powerful testimonies of Islam's impact. This quiet embrace often reflects a mature, confident faith, one that doesn't rely on external validation but grows steadily from sincere conviction and deep understanding. Educated converts to Islam often describe their journey as one of discovery rather than conversion. They don't simply accept Islam because of emotional appeal or social influence. They arrive at it through research, reflection, and intellectual engagement. This process can take years, filled with questions, doubts, and rigorous study. The silence surrounding their faith journey often mirrors the contemplative nature of their approach. They're not impulsive, they're deliberate. Moreover, this quiet adoption of Islam can be seen as a form of resilience. In a world where public opinions and media narratives can be harsh or hostile, choosing to live one's faith quietly is a way of protecting one's inner peace and integrity. It's also a statement of strength, showing that faith does not need to be shouted from the rooftops to be powerful. Sometimes, the most impactful changes happen quietly, through personal example and steady dedication. This silent revolution is also fueled by the genuine spiritual and intellectual satisfaction Islam provides. Educated individuals find that Islam answers questions that no other worldview has satisfactorily addressed. It offers clarity in an age of confusion, purpose in an age of aimlessness, and hope in an age often marked by cynicism. The quiet nature of their embrace often reflects the deep, personal nature of this fulfillment. It's not for show but for the soul. Another reason for the silence is the focus on action rather than words. Islam teaches that faith is best demonstrated through deeds. For many educated people, this emphasis resonates strongly. They want their lives to be proof of their beliefs, not just a declaration. This quiet but consistent practice builds respect and curiosity among those around them, often inspiring others without a single word. Finally, this quiet embrace reflects a profound respect for personal freedom and authenticity. Educated individuals often value sincerity and depth over spectacle. They prefer their faith to be a private sanctuary where they can grow in understanding and spirituality without external pressure or judgment. This quiet revolution is a testament to the power of personal transformation, deep, meaningful, and lasting, beyond the noise of public opinion. In essence, the growing, quiet embrace of Islam by educated people is a sign of a spiritual awakening that values reason, authenticity, and profound inner peace. It's a revolution not of loud slogans, but of thoughtful hearts and minds discovering a faith that truly speaks to their soul. This silent journey is powerful, and its ripple effects will continue to shape societies in ways that may not always be visible, but are deeply transformative nonetheless. As we reflect on why so many educated individuals are turning to Islam quietly, it becomes clear that this journey is about more than just faith. It's about seeking truth, purpose, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. It is a movement driven by thoughtful minds searching for clarity in a confusing world, a moral compass that guides with wisdom and compassion, and a path of personal transformation that shapes character and discipline. This silent embrace speaks volumes about the power of Islam to meet the needs of the heart and mind alike. If you find yourself resonating with this message, feeling the pull towards something greater, a longing for meaning beyond material success, I encourage you to explore Islam with an open heart and mind. Don't rush the process, ask your questions, seek knowledge, and observe the lives of those who live by these principles. Whether through reading, conversations, or personal reflection, take that first step toward understanding what so many educated people have found to be a source of peace and purpose. Remember, transformation begins within. The journey may be quiet, but its impact can be profound. Allow yourself the space to grow, to question, and to discover the path that leads to lasting fulfillment. The door to this journey is open. Will you step through it?